Good morning, it's Wayne from Nomad PDU. Today I'm going to talk about a little bit different project on what I'm doing up at the farm. I'm building a number of cabins at this point at 6, and I'm using the Nomad at the moment for all my lighting, my fridging, TV, you know, for my cooking as well, my oven that I'm using. And really where we're at the moment is we've got about 3 cabins underway, and the other 3 we haven't started, but the intention is that over probably the next 12 months we get it done. So we're in various stages at the moment. Some are made of steel, combination steel and timber, some predominantly steel, some predominantly timber. And it's one of the things about building when you're doing off-grid, you've got to be flexible, because that depends on the availability of materials, because it's not like building in the city or anywhere else. If you've got a construction plan and it's rigid, which means we're building it brick and tile, or double brick, single brick, brick and frame, you're stuck to that plan depending on the builder as to what's available. So it's something that they tell you is going to be 12 months, could be 4 years. So if you're building your own stuff, that's the beauty of it. I've had to change my plans a million times depending on what's available. There's shortage of timber a lot of times that I've had in the past, so I've gone with the steel framing. Steel framing is great because if you wanted to add something, it's pretty easy. Get the grinder out, cut a hole somewhere, put a doorway in if you need to, or remove the doorway and then structurally put steel back in there and then put the wall back. So that's the great flexibility about steel and timber, is that you can do that, especially with the great tools that are around today to be able to strip timber down and steel. Depends on your capabilities. If you can weld, if you can't weld, then just start using good quality tech screw technology to build your steel framing. If that's what it is, you're building timber, then get yourself a good quality nailing gun. I'm using a nail gun at the moment, which it's a Ryobi, and it's a good framing gun, 34 degree, and I've used that to build complete structure of one cabin. Now, I did have a failure in the firing pin, but Ryobi was great. I just replaced the gun, and but the gun works fantastic. So 90mm nails, and it just bangs them in all day, and that has made a massive difference where I can put a wall up myself, or complete 4 walls. I can do that in a day by myself. Put them up by myself. I do have to do them in sections. I can't do a 6 meter length and have 3 guys lift up the walls because I'm on my own. I've got to build like the maximum I can build if I'm building complete walls with studs and stuff. It's probably about 2.4 to possibly 3 meters, 2.4 high. Not as strong as I used to, so I can lift that up and get that in place by myself. And with the nail gun, it makes life a lot easier to be able to just tack stuff in place. Fantastic. Made life a lot easier instead of me having to try and wood screw everything in, or use flooring screws, timber flooring screws, or decking screws. Just got to watch kangaroos up here. So it's 3 o'clock in the morning and I'm heading up, and that's to get a head start. And the one thing about projects like this is that the biggest thing about building such a project, I found, and I still find, is that obviously continue being motivated, because it can be quite testy. You do have to change your plans a few times, and that's depending on a number of things, including environment, but you might have to change things. And the people that are making headway up here, that have got their projects very similar, are the ones that break ground. The ones that don't break ground and try and wait till they get things perfect, because the timber suppliers and the steel suppliers, the ones that are dropping that sort of stuff off, they always tell me, I say, how's so-and-so going up the road? Would they tell you where all the projects are? And they'll tell you that 18 months later the stuff's still sitting on the ground. It's not great for your timber to be sitting around. It's going to get warped as well. Steel's okay, but the fact is that if you don't start, you're probably never ever going to get it started, or you're never going to finish it, that's for sure. So you've got to break ground, in my opinion. Everyone up here that's going well had a plan. They've all changed it, but they've all got their projects underway, and they've got structure in place, which means that they're heading in the right direction. And then you can keep talking to those people, and they'll motivate you, because now it's kind of a bit of a competition of who can knock it off quicker. Other people up there doing projects have more people working on it than I do. I work by myself, and I build the projects by myself, which means I'm limited in a lot of ways I can build things, because I'm on my own, and I often have to be careful at heights as to using nail guns at height, or if I'm welding at heights. So I have to be aware that I'm on my own, and ideally, keep the phone with you at all times, especially if you work on your home. Make sure you've got phone reception if you're going to be working on your own. So that's just a bit of advice. They're good ideas to be doing these projects, but there are some limitations and things you've got to keep in mind when you're doing it. So we'll do some photos when we get up there this morning. It'll still be pitch black, but I've got a cleaning up to do. Normally if I get up here every couple of weeks, I try to get up weekly, which is not always possible, but there's always cleaning up to do because I'm in a high wind area, so tarpaulins and things like that will be stripped a lot of the times. We've got to put them back up, give myself some cover while I'm working, especially in the heat and the rain. And today I'm working on trusses to get the roof trusses up before winter on a couple of cabins so that I can start working internally rather than being outside in the weather. So that's just where we're at. Keep you updated.